Okay, so today we are continuing with the Narad Bhakti Sutra. Now, this is a new section which is about dangers of bad company or evil company. So, this is an entire 43 to 45, that's about 3 4 verses over here, which are going to talk about what is the company that you are supposed to keep. All right. I'll just give you a small recap of what we did yesterday. We did verses 40, I think it is 38 to 42, in which we spoke of the need for a guru and what is the meaning of the word God's grace. So that was covered yesterday. So we are going to do today the dangers of evil company. So Sutra 43 says, evil company is only fit to be renounced by all means. Now, the term evil company, what is the term evil company mean? Now, when we say evil company, we are qualifying the term good and bad. When we are in this material world, everything is right, wrong, good, bad, white, black, because we are under the sway of Mother Nature. Mother Nature defines exactly what is right for us and what is not right for us. She tells us that there are certain edible fruits and there are some which cannot be eaten. There are certain things in this world which are poisonous and some which are not. The separation has been made for a specific purpose. Not everybody can be qualified as the right person. There is always something which is the wrong. What is the need for doing this kind of a thing? Now, today's day and age, there are so many issues which we are fighting for. The ones which we feel are going to take us away from the righteous path. The ones which are going to take away from the righteous path is the evil company. A righteous path is defined by Sri Krishna very clearly as dharmic, the dharmic path. And what he says as the adharmic, that is to be shunned. This he had already made it very clear during the times of Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, there were two sides. One which was on the path of dharma and one which was on the path of adharma. The Pandavas and their side was dharmic because Krishna was on their side. In the story that is there, he asks Duryodhan, what do you want? And the Duryodhan, in his naivety, accepts his entire army, not realizing that a Krishna who is not even going to raise his weapons or his hand in anything, what can he do? That is what his thinking is. But what happens during the entire Mahabharata is known to us. So the person who follows the adharmic, that is not dharma. So the person who follows this path is called the evil. So when he says evil company is only fit to be renounced by all means, we have to avoid evil company. When you look at the story of Mahabharata, it will tell you very clearly that the side on which the Lord is fighting, the Lord is called the good one. And the one on which he is not even there is called the evil one. A simple understanding will tell you. So far we had done dispassion and detachment. The third one, the third D is called discrimination. Now, material worldly discrimination is different than this discrimination. You see, material worldly discrimination, what happens outside, is not to be considered. Here, discrimination clearly means what is godly in nature. Everything which is not is unreal. Unreal. So this entire world, the one which is on the side of God is real. God is real. Whereas the rest of the world is unreal. This is the meaning of the word. Now this evil company has been understood many a times in many of our ancient scriptures, literatures, stories. Right from Ramayana and Mahabharata we have seen this. We have understood it. There is a very big controversy whereas the role of Karna is concerned. You know, everybody feels that Karna is given a very raw deal because he took part in the Mahabharata with the evil side. And everybody feels that he was given a raw deal. He should have at least got some redemption. But he did not get. In the previous story, the previous chapter, the previous few sutras that we did, the role of the Guru was very clearly explained. Now, when the role of the Guru was very clearly explained, it was also said that the Guru is the doorway to God. And Krishna himself says that I have incarnated as the Guru. This we did yesterday. Now think what Karna did at the beginning of his story. When he went to his Gurudev, he said something wrong. He did not own up that he was not belonging to the caste where he can fight the war. The story goes that he had to tell lies. Now you may say it is a white lie. Why should he not be given that credit, It's just a white lie. It's a small thing. No, in the spiritual world, it is not a small thing. Owning up to your issues is important. Just before that, there is a very big story which happened with, if you recollect, yesterday again I was telling you, day before yesterday rather, the story of Sri Ram and his Guru. Right? In that I spoke about the two Gurus that were involved. Vishwamitra and Vashishta Muni. Now, Vishwamitra was not from the Brahmin caste. So he was not qualified, it seems. Though he had everything going for him. He was a great scholar, he was a great teacher, he was a perfect guru. You name it, everything was there. And yet, he could not have attained the perfection. And because Vasishtha Muni was constantly against him, said, no, he cannot be granted that. Vishwamitra thought that Vasishtha Muni is against me. And many a times he tried to do away with Vasishtha Muni. Now in one of the stories, Vasishtha Muni, his kutia is over there, his small hut is over there. And Vishwamitra comes in the dead of the night to slay him, Vasishtha Muni. And while he is sneaking from behind, he hears what Vasishtha Muni is talking to his wife. And he says, the Vasishtha Muni is saying to his wife, there is no greater person than Vishwamitra who can be anointed as a guru and the highest of the sages in this world, because he has everything going for him. But the only problem was his birth. And I so much wish that Vishwamitra comes up to that level and gets the role higher than me. And this is heard by Vishwamitra. And he feels totally ashamed of what he had come to do. He had come to slay the Guru. So he comes inside and falls at the feet of the Guru saying, I am really very sorry. This is what I was planning to do. Kindly forgive me. Vasishtha Muni looks at him and says, you know something? In this body of yours, you cannot qualify. So I am going to give you the idea of what you can do to this. And it is mentioned that Vishwamitra had to do a tapasya for nearly many years. Now when they say 10,000 years, don't go by that 10,000 years. It's a very long time. Okay. So he did tapasya for many years, left his body, and he was born again to take a body of a Brahmana. And Vasishtha Muni himself then anoints him and gives him the name. So from that day onwards, he becomes a great sage. So the reason why I told you this story is because the part of the Gurudev is very great. And what Karna did in the beginning was wrong. It is not correct. And so he had to go through his trouble. His Guru himself told him that when the time comes, you will not be able to use these shastras. You will not be able to use these magical weapons, and nothing will side with you. It's because of this. It could have been one single flaw. That is not to be done. So he had to be a part of that company with Duryodhana. And because he had to be a part of that company, he couldn't be there with the divinity. So he was against Krishna. So the evil company means the ones who are not on the path of dharma. We have to be always following the path of dharma, come whatever may. Now devotion to God can be attained only by good company. So we will move to the next verse to understand what this company is all about. So Sutra 44 says, for it is a cause for creating lust, anger, delusion, loss of memory, loss of discrimination, and ultimately utter ruin. So the company which we keep is extremely important. Even in our material world, now comes the season of mangoes, you know that. In another month or so, there is a big season of mangoes coming. And Indians are so much used to loving mangoes. There are hundreds of varieties. But you know very well what happens when you keep all the mangoes together. You see, if there is one rotten mango in that entire lot, it spoils the other mangoes also. This is known to us. And we very clearly, if we see that black circle around a mango, we immediately take it out and we say, oh, keep it outside. This is known to us. It is the same with our life also. If there is one bad egg in our life, we are finished. Because you will not be able to overcome that. It's the company that you keep is very, very important. How you stay in this world. On the path of spirituality is always mentioned, keep the company of the holy. It is the company that you keep, you are going to become exactly like that. So if you are in the material world, and in the material world you have everybody who is literally running after money, power, fame, fortune and all, what exactly is going to happen to you? You are going to do the same thing. So here he says, for it is a cause of creating lust. Many of you have seen this movie, The Wolf of Wall Street. It's a very good example to actually tell you what happens over there. The whole movie is about lust and greed. They say greed is good in this material world. And the whole movie is full of that. Even in the end, the person is still trying to snort. What exactly was he trying to do? You just think about it. Finally, he ends up in the jail. That's a different story. And then he comes out. Okay, we are not discussing that, but you understand very clearly what I am indicating. It is the company that you keep. As an anecdote, I'll tell you. One day, this is way back in time, I was sitting on the Ganga Tat, and I was there for 5 days and I was sitting over there and the whole world was passing by. And I kept on sitting over there. Behind me, there were over 20 or 25 odd sadhus, dressed in orange color clothes and they were sitting in a circle. There is a people tree, Bodhi tree, like they call it. Under that, they were sitting. And it was very close to the shore, so I could hear everything. And when I got up in the evening, they called me and they said, come, join us. I did not join them, but I sat at the side, just near the tree. There's a small platform, so I just sat over there. I was listening to their stories. They were talking about what was happening in the newspaper, what was happening in the political circles. These are sadhus. Okay? and the topic veered around different subjects. Who who tried to beat whom? What was happening here and there? I could only listen. And they were passing on the chilam. You know chilam, I'm sure you know the chilam. They were passing the chilam on to everybody. And the guy got up to give it to me also. I said, sorry, sir. First, I don't know what to do with it. You please take it. Hey, hey, लगा लो ना सुट्टा एक तो. I said, I'm sorry, I don't want it. But they gave it back to them. And as the talk was progressing, they were discussing where they are going to have their dinner. And everybody was talking about here the food is good, there the food is good. Now think about it. These are people wearing orange color clothes and who are called the, sannyasis, but who are completely lost in this world. Lost in this world of Maya. Maya had completely enveloped them. It's not that the sages or saints from the Himalayas or some such place, they don't indulge in these kind of things. It is they do that. It's not that they don't. I am not deriding any of those things. What I am trying to say is, but when you are talking about material world, you're talking about politics, you're talking about all kinds of nonsensical stuff. It's clearly an indication that these people are wearing the garb of a sannyasi but are not sannyasis. It's an easy way out. And that was a very funny experience I had. Even recently, when I had gone to a place, the sadhu in front of me, I mean, he was really a very great person. He's asking me, what have you to say about the current political scenario? I said, sir, I am not political. I don't bother my head about this. No, but you should be bothered, I said, why? Because these are the guys who are taking away our stuff. First and foremost, where is it your stuff? It is not your stuff. You have got it from somewhere. If you are on the path of spiritual, you are literally, hooked. You don't have any money only. Nothing is yours. Everything is Almighty's. You come empty-handed, they say, na, khali haath aaye the hum khali haath jayenge. What is the big deal? So the company which you keep is very, very important. If you keep company of those people who are going to be bothered about eating, they will be discussing about food most of the time. If you have company where people like, you see, there are places like Las Vegas and Macau and all those places. Yes. One day I went to Macau. It was a very funny experience there also. So I had gone to see those big tall buildings. Okay. It's one of the biggest gambling places. So I said, I have to go and see. So I went to see. Now, I was not aware that we are not supposed to take photograph inside. I took out the phone and I was trying to click. The person comes and, no, no, okay, no. If you have come inside, you have to do something. I said, well, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do also. Because I can see everybody playing over there. They are so lost in it. I believe these people play the whole day. They are the Chinese who come from the mainland. They spend billions of dollars. You will not believe this, but Macau is 10 times bigger than Las Vegas. It was something with a very strange knowledge. So if you keep company of the people who are gamblers, you will end up gambling. If you are in the company of people who are robbers, you will become one. So why would you want to do that? So to be on the path of dharma is very, very important. You understand what this is all about? Even in our life, we are so used to bribing people. Every person will say, you see, you want your papers, you have to give bribes. Why do you have to give bribes? You will say, otherwise your papers will not move. उसके ऊपर वजन रखो तो चलेगा, नहीं तो नहीं चलेगा. Means वजन means weight. You see, you have your paper, for signature purposes. You have to keep weight on it. Weight means money, bribe. Then only the paper will move. I will tell you this much. I have registered properties. I have done a lot of things in the past. But I don't want to pay bribes. I have never. Never. And it doesn't mean that there is something that was assisting me in the sense that I knew somebody. No, I did not know anybody. It happens that you just go, ask for it, things will happen. But only if you believe in it. This thing you need to know. You just got to believe in it. Otherwise, I would walk away from the place. It is not important that you have to do that. I don't want it. So he says, that which creates lust in a person, you have to get out of that place. It is called bad company. Today there are so many via medias of these lusty things. Your phone in your hand is also like that. Earlier I used to post in Tumblr or something like that. And I didn't want to see this Tumblr thing. Okay. But I was told, Guruji, you have to have Tumblr as an app and you see. When I open it, everything which I don't want to see pops up over there. And I was saying, what is happening? I don't want to see this. No, Guruji, we have to make some changes in it. Sir, 1 whole year of changes happened. I told him, remove the app. I don't want it only. Otherwise, all these full day, you will be seeing only this kind of things happening. Why is it important to see that? It is not important. And these current issues are such, they have made it free. Free. Earlier, you buy one, get one free. Now, you don't have to buy anything. Everything is free. Even when you don't want it, they'll say, okay, take it now, little bit. So lust is like that. It's a funny thing. And there is a story in the Tripura Rahasyam, by the way. In Tripura Rahasyam, the heroine says, this guy gets married. He's a great king's son and he gets married to her. And she says, I am not interested. So he says, you're so beautiful. You're telling me you're not interested. So she says, what are you caring for? What do you mean? I like you. You're so beautiful. Blah, 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 all that. He says, what? It is not about that. What are you after? A place from where you do all your wrong stuff. You see, all the excretion and all that happens and you like that kind of stuff. This guy gets completely put off. I mean, just imagine your own wife telling you like this. What are you talking? And everything goes for a toss. But that Tripura Rahasyam, whenever we do, it's a very beautiful story. Sometime in the future. So, lust is like that. Anger. When you are in company of angry people, you know what happens. The anger is a root cause of going to hell. In the Bhagavad Gita, he very clearly says, why does anger come? Is because of unfulfilled desires. When some desire is unfulfilled, the anger will crop up. The person gets like that. What for are you angry? You have to avoid the company of angry people. Throw them out of your life. Otherwise, you are going to go to ruins after that. So no, we don't have to. Delusion. People come under delusion because of this. They get deluded. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Nice movie again. Huh? Delusion. I talk about movies because, I used to be a movie buff. Now though it's very difficult. Actually, it should be very easy because everything is now available online, isn't it? So anyway, delusion happens very fast. When you are in the company of bad people, you can get deluded so easily. I'll tell you about delusion. You see, when you go to your college and when you are in your, staying with some guys in PG accommodation or something, you know what happens over there. Arey, tu akela kya kar raha hai? What are you doing alone? Little only, nothing happens. It's only Coca-Cola. Oh, nothing happens, only Coca-Cola. That only Coca-Cola little bit is very dangerous. So, and then delusion. And delusion means you don't know what hit you. After that, though, it is a very easy path sliding down. Loss of memory comes in. This is also there in the Bhagavad Gita, like I said. Loss of memory comes in when you don't remember anything good in this world. Have you seen anger and people who are very upset? What do? Let us say in your own life you have a fight going on with your significant other, SO they call it. Now, it could be a wife, it could be a girlfriend, it could be, I don't know. Okay, I have to keep the big question mark open. So, what happens? When that happens, nothing good is remembered by a person. Now, your entire life, you might have been a very nice person. But when anger strikes you, only the bad stuff remains. No good thought will ever come to you. It's only whatever is the worst kind of thing that is there. You did this to me. Sir, 99% of the time, I never did that to you. Means not the bad stuff. See, I did only the good stuff. I loved you, I liked you, I did this, I brought gifts, falana dikna, all those kind of things. After a very long time, I have used this word, falana dikna. If you ever go to one of my old satsangs, it's a BC, before Corona. Okay, you will get all that. It's all falana dikna. But nowadays, I don't say that word. But now let us come back. So, everything that is good, the person has forgotten. Only the bad stuff is remembered. And how much is the bad stuff? Not even 1%. But that 1% is the cause of destruction of the entire relationship. You couldn't pick up your clothes. Oh, I have always been like this. I never picked up my clothes. First my mother used to pick up. Then my maid used to pick up. And now you are there to pick up. But how is it that suddenly after so many years you remember that? See? But that is how it is. And when that happens, it is called delusion. Maya plays a fantastic role in our life. She deludes you. Actually, what is the role of Maya? Illusion. An illusion which causes misery to us is called delusion. It is causing terrible misery to human beings. Think. I was seeing something, a doctor was talking 2010. 2010. He is saying, maybe this patient has corona. Oh, 10 years ago there was corona, by the way. We did not know about it. Today it has become very prominent. Why? We have thousands of things in our body. All kinds of viruses, these, that, they are there roaming around. For them, that's a Disney world, this body. Okay, Disneyland, Disney World, they keep on going. Oh, this is very good. We can go here. We can go here. This ride is very good. You know how rides are, no? Have you ever seen one of those rides? You know, you can go on top and suddenly you come down. Imagine they will go into the heart and they will say, oh, now I am going to the aorta. Come on, let's go. And you go very fast over there. These viruses, bacteria, they love doing that. But so far they have been a very good company with us. Even that lactobacillus fellow inside our stomach is also very happy. But suddenly out of the blue, they will say, no, today I want to take all the rides. Then you had it. Then they take you for a ride, isn't it? That happens because you have started a different kind of a diet, maybe. You don't know. Your immunity levels are low. So coming back to our story once again. Loss of discrimination. We forget what is correct for us. We really forget. Discrimination means, first, everything that is unreal is not God. Only God is real. When you come further up, you understand God has taken form in everything. He is form as well as formless. This is the main understanding of spirituality. Spirituality, what does it mean? Now let us say tomorrow when you have children, or those who already have children, the children will ask you, Dad, what is the meaning of the word God? You know, you have to pull your hair out to just try to explain what is God. Nobody knows. What are you going to tell them? God is everywhere. God is in this statue. God is here. They will not see it. They want proof of the pudding. And that is the reason why we do not understand. So discrimination, loss of discrimination. You cannot see God in anything. Because everything is delusional. Remember this. In recent case, I was seeing someone writing, it's because of your God this problem is happening. Because of God this problem is happening. You think God told you to eat some bats, cats, rats? He never said like that. But people are eating all this kind of nonsensical stuff. There are restrictions in this world. Did we not do that? Evil company. That is what started with, isn't it? Even in the Bible there is a mention. He says, you can eat whatever you want. You can go in this whole Garden of Eden also. But from this tree, don't eat, okay? And what you are not supposed to eat, you actually want that. Have you seen that? If you are restricted and told, no, don't open this room. Curiosity killed the cat. You want to see what is there in that room. That is how we are. So when God the Father says to Adam and Eve, don't eat from that fruit, that tree, they are bound to eat. Because we are very unruly characters. We don't want to listen to authority. If it says, no, don't go there, means we have to go there. Right? Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. I have to find out whether it is really injurious to health or no. After having smoking, so many cigarettes, I have still not found it, it is injurious to health. What? I have still not found it. I have to get the feel of that. That's how we are. So, loss of discrimination and ultimately utter ruin. This ruin happens because we do not follow the path which is mentioned. We have to avoid all those things. Sometimes when there are youngsters, I tell them, you see, when a person is very young, they want to indulge in everything. They want to indulge in smoking, drinking, this, that, all the stuff. What happens when you grow up? When you have your own children, they are very tiny. They may be 5 years, 6 years, 7 years old. And they see you smoking, or they see you drinking, or they see you doing some kind of a prohibited act. They will say, if dad can do, if mom can do, why can't I do? What answer are you going to give them? No, 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 you cannot do this kind. You can't tell that, This is bad. This is not good for you. I have seen in my past when the person says, Dad, if you are drinking, I am also going to take one glass and drink. And that is what happened. Why is it important to do that? I mean, think about it. Intoxication, drugs, they can give you a high only for a certain amount of time. After that, you come down. And when you come down from that high, you really don't know what hit you. Then you want to go again, and then again, and then again. It keeps on happening continuously. A time will come in your life where even that high is not good enough for you. But what happens to the next generation? This is never understood. One day, one disciple asked me this question. Guruji, why do you say that I should not be doing this? I said, see, it's a very simple thing. Your body is getting acclimatized to those things. Your body starts accepting it. Okay, this is what I want. And after some time, the level keeps on growing up higher and higher and higher. A person says, I cannot get the kick now. I need more, I need more, and I need more, and I need more. And when that happens, it's very easy to fall down. What will you tell your kids? What will you tell people around you? Why? Why do you do it? The body also starts accepting it, by the way. There is no way in which the body will say, okay, that's fine, you can now give up. There is no giving up because it has started accepting it as one of the normal stuff. This is how diabetes also comes in the picture, isn't it? You know that. Where sugar, everything goes for a toss. So it is better to not get into it. What is the big deal? So let us come to the next verse. What does it say? This is Sutra 45. It says, though appearing as a ripple in the beginning, these, that is anger, lust, greed, everything, by evil companionship can become an ocean. These lust and greed and all these characteristics can cascade into something very, very big. It is the company that you keep. So in the beginning, it is only one. And then it is two, then it is three, then it is four, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on. One day I still remember way back in, it was 2009 or 10, I don't recollect when, there was a person and she came and touched my feet and she said, I'm so happy to see you. And this happened bang in front of a fancy office building. She was a vice president of a very big conglomerate. And the people were looking at her. What is she doing? This is not in India. This happened abroad. And she came and she touched my feet and she said, Guruji, so nice to see you and blah, blah, all that. And then later on, went out in the evening with some other people. And they went and they were sitting near a seashore or something like that. I don't eat in the evening, so I was just sitting over there in the corner, not doing anything. So this lady says to me, you see, we are not supposed to drink in front of you. I said, I don't have any objection. You are living in this material world. You are used to your kind of living. I can't help you. But I want to do cheers to you. I said, that's a very dangerous thing to do. You don't know actually what you are getting into. No, Guruji, I want to do cheers to you. So can you do cheers to me? Now, I don't eat or drink in the evening after that time. So I took a glass of water and I said, okay, cheers to you. I said, you are getting into a very bad place. Remember that. You have said cheers to me. After she must have knocked off around, I think, 9 glasses, whatever it was, beer or something, I was aghast. I said, oh my God, what is this person up to? I said, so she said, well, Guruji, you never stopped me. You are a spiritual person, you should stop me. I said, it is not my call to stop you. If you are a fish who is always diving in alcohol, what am I to do? You live in that world. It's your problem, not mine. But as a Guruji, your job is to stop me. I said, you don't worry. My universe works magic. And how it works is not your problem. It is, see, the thing is, you are doing something to me which is not to be done. Why would anybody want to do that? It is not a good thing to do. And 2 years later, the person gave up everything. Everything. So no drinking at all. How did that come about? You don't say cheers to me. You understand? So the answer is this. Though appearing as a ripple in the beginning, this anger, lust, greed, everything, by evil companionship can become an ocean. It can cascade into something very, very big. I still remember a story from my childhood days. There was a man who was used to robbing things, As a child, he picked up some stuff. His mother saw it. His mother never said anything from the departmental store. Then he picked up something else. Then it went on and on and on and on and on. And he became a very big thief. Finally, one day, he also killed someone. So it so happened that the judge had given him the death sentence. So they asked him, what is it that you want as your last wish? So he says, I want to meet my mother. Now, naturally, it's your last wish, so the person has to be brought in. So the mother was brought in. Just leave me alone. So he sat in the room with his mother. And then he looked at his mother and he said, can I come near you? So mother said, yes, of course. Today is your last day. I want you to come near me. And then what he does is, he goes near her ear and with one great bite, he bites her ear off. She's aghast. She says, "What are you doing?" The son says, "I am doing what you should have done to me long ago when I did my first error in life. You should have pulled my ears. And you have not done a good thing. That is why just before my death, I want to bite your ear off." And that is what the man did. Now, this is a story I had listened to it when I was a kid. So, whatever company that you keep, you will end up being that. And from a small, it cascades into something really massive. So it is important that you don't keep that company. If you, whatever company you keep, let us say if you are a part of people, those who are used to robbing, then they will do the same thing. You know, there is another small story. I tell stories. Okay, so one more story. Now, this is told by Ramakrishna Paramahansa, in that there is this man who is caught by three robbers. Now, these three robbers, he's going through the jungle and he's caught by these three robbers. And the first one says, "I want to kill him and I want to take away everything from him." The second one says, "No, no, 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 no. We should tie him up around a tree and we can take everything from him." The third one says, "What can I do?" And then these three go away. They have tied him around the tree, they rob him, and then they go away. So the third one comes back later and releases this person. He releases this person and says, "I have come to release you. I want to take you back to your town." And he takes him back to the village, the periphery of the village, and he says, "You can go now." So the man says, "You're such a nice guy. You never did anything to me. You did not tie me up or anything like that. But what? Why can you not join me?" So the third man says to him, "I cannot join you. You know the reason why? Because I'm still a robber." So Ramakrishna Paramahansa said these three. The first one who said that "I want to kill you" is called Tamoguna. The second one who tied him up and robbed him is called Rajoguna, Rajas. And the third one who came and left him at the village boundary, he is called the Satvaguna. But all three are robbers. Those who are ruled by any of these three gunas are still robbers. To meet the soul, to meet that divine entity, we have to go beyond these three gunas. They are beyond the three, even those bodies that we have is beyond. That is the meaning of the story. So we have come to the end of Sutra 45. Tomorrow we will do 46 onwards.